Hello, everyone. Good day and welcome again to One Global Movement, Building Hopes and Dreams, where we come together to help children, women, and young people defeat hunger, illiteracy, and poverty, build generational wealth while living a life of leadership and purpose. And it's not just defeating physical hunger, physical illiteracy, or physical poverty. It is really defeating the entire challenges that face this population worldwide. And so we have to apply our economic stand, educational stand, social stand, cultural stand, and whatever it takes to help these children worldwide. So thank you guys so much for coming. And I will be maybe the only one on stage here today. My regular partner, Yvonne Finn, has an appointment. And let me know in the chat if you guys hear me well, okay? Let me just double check my microphone here to make sure that it is up. Okay, it is up. If somebody can just type yes, we hear you in the chat, that would be good. The managing director just popped in. Welcome, John. And I was just letting the audience know that if they hear me well, they should put in the chat that, okay, thank you. Thank you for confirming that, John. I appreciate that. Yes, I was just letting the audience know that I might be the only one on stage here today because my regular partner, Yvonne Finn, has an appointment. And how are you guys doing today? How is everyone doing? How was the weekend? I'm really believing and hoping and praying that everybody had a beautiful weekend and everyone is doing okay. And thank you guys so much for taking the time from your commitments, from your family to be here to support One Global Movement. Because to me, I don't think there's any other thing out there that I should be doing personally than to support children, women, and young people worldwide, especially considering the stalemate of the world, the situation of the world today. We really need to come together to do this. So thank you guys so much for being here. Again, I highly appreciate you. And we always appreciate our CEO, who is the one that brought this global family together. Although there are so many now who are not from our company that are also supporting One Global Movement, which is what we want, which is what we need. We need to extend it to the entire globe because the challenges faced by children, women, and young people warrants all of us. It calls for you and I, all of us, to come together to do something because there is always something to be done, just like what we are doing here on Wednesdays and Fridays. Because if you cannot use your words, you can use your hands. If you cannot use your hands, you can use something. There has to be something that we can use to help this population worldwide. But we have to start by helping ourselves first. So that when we help ourselves, we are healthy, we are happy, then we will be able to help others well. And as usual, we start the week by committing, submitting ourselves and everything that we do into the hands of the one that created us so that he can lead, guide, and protect us and usher us into his own greatness so that we can continue to help these children worldwide to implement the programs that we need to implement so that they can find their own purpose in life and in turn also help others find their own purpose. So in any way you want, because it doesn't matter what way we commit ourselves to the Creator, because he created you and I, he created everyone, he created the trees, the seas, the ocean, everything. So do it your own way, because this is the way that we are teaching children not to depend on somebody, but to do things the way that it appears to them, the way that they were gifted. And so it's the same thing that we're doing here. So, O divine creator of all, grant us serenity to embrace the children, women, and young people around the world with peace that quiets fear, with safety that silences danger, with sovereignty that honors dignity. Grant us courage, O God, to rise as one global movement, speaking truth for the voiceless, planting seeds of hope in barren hearts, and building bridges where walls once stood. Grant us wisdom, O God, to discern when to listen and when to act, when to sow and when to harvest, when to lead and when to serve, always with love and purpose in our hearts. Lord, we stand as a global family, united not by borders, but by compassion, by empathy, and love. We refuse to turn away from hunger. Hunger doesn't just mean physical hunger. Hunger, psychological hunger, economic hunger, hunger from poverty, hunger for an education, from illiteracy, from poverty, from the silent cries of mothers, children, fathers, and youth. Strengthen our hands to uplift, our minds to envision, our voices to advocate, and our spirits to persevere. Let this movement, O Lord, not be for one, but for all. A call to purpose, a call to peace, a call to divine destiny fulfilled, a call to know that every child, every woman, every young person matters, that every child, every woman, every young person has the needs and the urgency and the right to be included, the right to be listened to, the right to provide an environment where they can build, grow, and thrive, and in turn also help others. An environment where we can come together to discuss with our children, not about them, not to them, but with them included, so that they will also know that in order to advocate, in order to make decisions, in order to do things for people, we need to include them so that we can also hear their own perspective. Lord, we thank you. This is a call for divine action to help women, children, and young people. Thank you, Father. This we commit to you. Amen. I just announced before that Sister Yvonne has an appointment, and anybody that feels as to hop on the stage, the managing director is there. He can provide you guys with the link to the stage. Feel free. This stage, as we always say, is for everyone. Every voice needs to be heard. And therefore, if we set the example, our children will also follow. This is very, very important that we do that for our children, because when we hop onto the stage, they see us being included here. That is a wonderful thing for every child. So, as usual, before we dive into our topic for today, we are going to, one second, I'm trying to do something here on my phone. Okay, before we dive into our topic for today, we will first of all read our mission statement. And uh, and what is our topic for today? It's a very important topic. We are in One Global Movement Revolution, part 352, the Serenity Prayer and One Global Movement, a call to purpose. That is the theme or the topic for today. The Serenity Prayer and One Global Movement, a call to purpose. This is very important for us. And what is our mission, our vision and mission? We always like to remind everyone around the world of our vision and mission so they understand why we are here, why we decided to come together to do what we are doing. And please, please comment in the chat. Put your comments there. What is your worldview? What is your perspective of the theme of today? So let us really read the topic again, or the theme for today. The theme is the Serenity Prayer and One Global Movement, a call to purpose. The Serenity Prayer and One Global Movement, a call to purpose. It's good that we listen and we learn from one another by you contributing in the chat. I am already contributing on the stage, but I would also like to learn from you, from your point of view. And so the vision and mission of One Global Movement is that One Global Movement is to empower young people, children, and women worldwide with a focus on the young woman, providing them with tools and sustainable solutions that will help them eradicate hunger, illiteracy, and poverty, build generational wealth while living a life of leadership and purpose. We here in One Global Movement believe that every child deserves access to nutritious food, quality education, and opportunities to thrive. Through global collaborative efforts and innovative programs and community engagement programs, we strive to break the circle of hunger, illiteracy, and poverty and build a future where every child can build on their hopes and dreams while reaching their full potential. Together, through divine intervention, love, and clean, safe, and valuable technology, we can create a world where no child goes to bed hungry. No child is denied an education, and no child is limited to poverty or to any condition that is not of their own making. It's possible. And it is very possible because we are here and we are doing it. That means it's possible. They can do it. And so, thank you as always for supporting One Global Movement. Our mission is clear, very clear. And if you don't understand the mission, please ask questions. You can ask the managing director, you can ask any of us here, and we will be able to discuss it together. So, our mission is very clear. It is profound and deeply human to empower young people, children, and women worldwide, especially young women, with the tools and sustainable solutions they need to eradicate hunger, illiteracy, and poverty, build generational wealth while living a life of leadership and purpose, not just any kind of life, leading, but leading with purpose. We believe that every child deserves access to nutritious food, quality education, and opportunities to thrive. We believe that. And it's their God given right that they should have that access. Through our own collaboration here in One Global Movement between us and you, all of us here, or through other organizations that we collaborate with, or through collaborative effort, whatever, and other programs that we are carrying out, like the 5 Chicks per Child program, Smiles in the Back program, scholarship program is what we're going to be doing too, implementing when we have those funds to start writing scholarships. And also Seeds program, cooperatives, and roofing of homes for those that cannot afford to roof their homes, that they can use local materials to mold their sun-dried blocks to build their homes, and then to we can then help to roof their homes. Maybe in big cities or big areas like here in Minnesota, maybe it's taking the students or the ambassadors to the One Global Movement garden, like we've been doing this summer. You can see me; I'm all tan. I've been sunburned, like you can see, and I love it because this is what happens every summer. So we take them to the garden. They are learning how to sow a seed, to nurture them, and to harvest them. And then also in that process, they are learning patience. They are learning how to nurture things. They are learning that it is a process. They are also learning that it takes integrity to do everything in life. They are learning a lot of values. Planting a seed is not just physical planting, it entails a lot. And so we believe that every child deserves access to nutritious food, and not just the access to food. How do you get this food? How do you produce food? How do you grow plants? It's very important. And the quality education and opportunities to really soar like the eagle. Through global collaborative efforts and programs and community engagement, we strive to break the circle of these profound challenges and build a future where every child can realize their hopes, their dreams, and live to their full potential. So that is very important. And so, true strength. We dive into our topic now, please. I can see Sister Sharon. If you can, hop onto the stage, sister. If you can. I'm the only one here today. So, true strength is found in serenity. True strength is found in serenity. So, we are discussing the serenity prayer and one global movement, which is a call to purpose. So true strength is found in serenity, the grace to accept what we cannot change. You accept what you don't know. You accept your strengths and your weaknesses. What you cannot change, accept it. The courage to transform what we can. Have that courage to step up and say, yes, I can transform this because I know how to do it, or I can give it a try and fail my way to success. And the wisdom to walk each step with purpose. You're not just transforming things. You're not just accepting your strengths and your weaknesses, but you are walking this path with wisdom so that when you leave a trail. When you leave a lasting legacy that will impact generations to come. And so we are doing this with purpose, compassion, and hope for all of humanity, beginning with children, women, and young people. So in thinking about our shared purpose, my mind often turns to a simple yet powerful prayer. So I want you guys to understand that when I'm diving into the topic now, I'm doing exactly what Sister Yvonne has written. And this makes it easy for me because she already researched her topic whenever she's not going to be here. She already does her research and then send the topic in. And then that helps me that way. I didn't have to go into researching a lot. I would just have to contribute on what I know about the Serenity Prayer and One Global Movement. So, as she says, in thinking about our shared purpose, her mind often turns to a simple yet powerful prayer, one that has guided countless individuals through life's complexities, the Serenity Prayer. What does that prayer say? God, grant me the serenity to accept the things I cannot change, the courage to change the things I can, and the wisdom to understand the difference. This is a very short but profound prayer that embodies everything in life. I will read it once more again. God, grant me the serenity to accept the things I cannot change, the courage to change the things that I can, and the wisdom to understand their difference. Isn't that powerful? I think that's such a powerful prayer. So, this prayer at its core offers a blueprint for how we can approach the vast challenges before us. How we can also teach our children to approach the vast challenges that they face when we wake up, especially our children. We are being bombarded from left and right, especially with the advanced technology. You're hearing here, do here, go here. When you do this, you will get this. This is the only way. This is the best way. And a lot of times when these children are not brought up well, they turn to embrace the ways of the world instead of really embracing the true purpose of their lives. And so they listen to those things. And that is why we, as One Global Movement, we want to be able to teach these children that you listen to the still small voice within you. Because the still small voice within our children is the voice of the Creator. Is a voice that says, you were born with greatness. Is a voice that says, you have something of value, that you have purpose. You were born with purpose, that you are worth more than what the world is telling you. And so we train them and teach them to embrace this. and they do it so well. Because when a child is born on a clean slate, until that slate begins to be tinted, or to be filled with impurities and dirt, the children don't know. They know just love and integrity and humility and the truth, until we begin to teach them otherwise. And because some of them have been taught otherwise, we as One Global Movement, we as servants, we want to be able to help these children to know that they have better, that they have greatness, that they have more than what the world is telling them. So, and this is very, very crucial for our children. So this prayer at its core offers that blueprint for our children and the vast challenges before us, and crucially, how we can come together to empower others to do the same. Let's explore how each of these timeless wisdom resonates with the vital work of One Global Movement. How does the Serenity prayer? Let's post it as a question, and we would like you to do something on the chat. How does the Serenity prayer helps us in One Global Movement to really uplift these children with purpose? How does that happen? And if you don't have anything to write, I would like you to write one powerful word. One Global Movement is helping children and young people worldwide. Just write that in the chat if you don't have any contribution to make. So the Serenity prayer accept, excuse me, let me drink some water. So the Serenity prayer accept the things that you cannot change, that I cannot change. At first glance, this might seem counterintuitive, or this might seem like it's conflicting to our mission of change. We are, after all, dedicated to transforming lives and systems. We are dedicated. That's what we are doing here, transforming lives and systems in One Global Movement. But acceptance in this context isn't about resignation. Accepting accepting to change those things that we can, as the Serenity prayer says, isn't about resignation. We are not resigning. You are accepting it because that aligns with your purpose. That aligns with what you are doing. And that's why you accept it, because it is true. We have different gifts. You have your gift. I have my own. I do things differently. You do things differently. But it is in our power to accept the things that we can do, and those that we cannot do. That helps us here. It is not about resigning. You're accepting what you can do, and also accepting that which you cannot do, so that through wisdom, through guidance, through leadership of the Creator and others, then you can go through these and also learn. That's why our different ideas here helps a lot, so that every child will find that space in which they can fit in what we are doing here in One Global Movement, without resigning their faith, accepting it to do what God has called them to do. So it's about clarity and strategic focus. It's about knowing clearly, seeing it in your mind's eyes, what you can do and what you cannot do. And it's about strategizing, really focusing on your goals and your dreams. And this is what we should be teaching our young people by doing it ourselves, so that they can also copy and do the right thing. So we must accept the harsh realities that exist in life, that millions still suffer from hunger, that illiteracy traps individuals, young people, children, women in circles of disadvantage, that poverty limits potential, and that systemic barriers often disproportionately affect women and children. These are the current facts on the ground. It is true. We see it, we live it, we feel it every day. So let us accept them, and accepting them means we don't deny their existence. We are not denying that these things don't exist or pretend that they will disappear on their own. No, we cannot pretend that they don't exist. And we cannot also pretend that they will just someday we'll just sit and not see these challenges again for women, children, and young people. No, we can't pretend. That means something has to be done about it, and done with purpose and done with focus, accepting that we can change this with what we have, with our gifts and skills, and also accepting that we cannot change this, and then put it out there and let people who have those skills and those gifts change it, and therefore we work together for them to change it while we are learning our way through. And this is what we want our children to know. And this will help our children, whether they're in school or they're at home in the community, to begin to ask questions on those things that they are unable to bring a lasting change to. This is very, very important. And this means acknowledging the scale of the challenge. What is your challenge? You have to accept that you have a challenge. You have some difficulties, that you have a problem. What is the scale? Understanding the deep roots of these issues allows us here in One Global Movement and individually to avoid naive solutions and instead build robust, sustainable ones. Naive means not solutions that are just going to be for the now, for here and now, but solutions that are sustainable for millions of generations to come. And we have to make sure you're not just building from your hand to your mouth. You're not just doing that. You're building something that when you exit the stage of this life, it is going to tell your story. It is going to say, yes, he did this. She did this. We did this. That will last for posterity. That is what we are talking about here. And so, releasing what is beyond our immediate control. What do you have? What do you know? What are you hiding that is beyond your immediate control? But you keep pretending that you can control it, is what we are talking about here. We cannot instantly undo decades or centuries of systemic injustices against children, women, and young people. Nor can we control global economic shift or natural disasters, but we can control our response. And remember, some of these things come naturally, but can we just fix them right now? No, no, that's not what we are talking about. But we have to begin doing something. We have to start right now, not postponing tomorrow, not say, let me take a little nap. What about the child that is going hungry? What about the child that doesn't have an education, doesn't even have access to it because of one reason or the other? What about the mother that is unable to read a book, the children's book, or read bedtime stories to the children because the mother is unable to read and write? And reading and writing here doesn't just mean in English, in your language, in your culture. How is that being done? So we need to think about that. And so, but we cannot control our response here. Cultivating resilience is very important for those we serve and for ourselves. Because when things happen to us repeatedly, now sometimes we just say, oh, that's the way it's been. That's the way it's always going to be. No. What this is doing to us is building that resilience, cultivating the resilience to say, you know what? I survived this, but am I just going to be on a survival mode? No. I want to be on a thriving mode. That's what I want. And so that's what we teach our children. Yes, you were bullied in school. Yes, you were called names. Yes, you were doing this. But is that who you are? Is that who you are created to be? No, definitely not. You were created for more. You were created for greatness. You were created to advocate for other children. You were created to leave a lasting legacy. You were created to bring out a gift within you and do something with it. You were created for more. And so you are not, never you allow anybody to reduce you to nothing, because we can only give permission for people to reduce us to nothing. Not fighting, not calling names, not arguing, but quietly doing that one thing that God has instilled in you to do for humanity is what we are talking about here. And we do this for who? For those we serve, like we're doing here in One Global Movement, for ourselves, for our families, for our neighbors, for our community. Accepting the current difficult challenges is the first step toward finding our own inner strength and not being overwhelmed. Yes, challenges come for a reason. They don't come to tarnish you, they don't come to break you, they don't come to put you down unless you allow it to. But when you affirm it within you that this challenge has come to really help me expose what I can do, accept the things that I can do, and then also acknowledging those that I cannot, and then asking for that wisdom to go through these things and guiding me with purpose to uplift humanity. This is what we are talking about here. It's about saying, yes, this is hard, but I will not be broken by it. I am going to rise above it and soar like the eagle to be and to go to where God created me to be. We all are created for more, but because of the noises, the negative noise around us, because of systems that have been built to break our children, sometimes we reduce ourselves because it's frustrating. We say, oh, I did this the first time and I failed. I did it again, and I still fail. Oh, forget about it. I'm not going to do it anymore. No, that's not what we're talking. You know how many times I've fallen? How many times I've been broken? Several. And as a child, it happened. And so, don't never you give up. Accept the things that you can change and go ahead to change them. And encourage to accept those that you cannot change and seek for help for those things and continue to move ahead. So, the first step towards finding inner strength and not being overwhelmed. Don't be overwhelmed. When you're overwhelmed, what do? Set those things aside for a moment and say an affirmation to yourself that I was born for greatness, that I was born for such a time as this, that if not now, then when? That I was born to change the world. When you affirm this, something begins to take root within your system, and something that you never knew that can happen, and you get back to that task and start doing it, changing it little by little, failing your way to success. It's about saying, yes, this is hard, but we will not be broken by it. We will overcome and we will thrive. This is very, very important for us here in One Global Movement, for everyone, and for us to teach our children. For One Global Movement, this acceptance embarks, it really empowers us to meet people where they are, to meet these children, young people, and women where they are, and accepting them for who and what they are, to understand their struggles without being judgmental, and to approach our work with empathy, compassion, sympathy, love, and a clear eyed view of reality, to accept that this is real, these things happen. You don't just see a child doing drugs or a child stealing or a child calling somebody names and you think it's out of nothing. That child is crying out for help, not the help that comes with judgment or with stereotypes or pushing the child to the backwaters of life. And that is why so many children have retrieved into themselves. They are worried, they are afraid, they are ashamed to voice out their concerns because we always approach these children with judgment. Imagine, how would you feel if you're being judged for something that you're looking for help? So let us instill that trust back into these children by trusting us here in One Global Movement to do the best thing for them. It prevents burnouts and it fosters a grounded approach to our ambitious goals and to these children's ambitious goal. This is very, very important. So the courage to change the things that I cannot. What is that courage? What does it look like? This is where the heart of One Global Movement truly beats. This is where we beat here in One Global Movement. Our heart beats here. Our mission is inherently an act of courage. The mission of One Global Movement to eradicate hunger, illiteracy, and poverty, to help these children do this, to build generational wealth while living a life of leadership and purpose, is a mission that is inherently an act of courage. Otherwise, we cannot begin to do this. It takes immense bravery. It takes immense bravery to confront hunger, to confront any challenge in life. It takes huge bravery. And it also takes that courage to dismantle illiteracy, to break the chains of poverty, hunger, abuse, oppression, to champion leadership. It takes courage. It does. And that's what we do here. We're not giving up. We're going to keep doing until the end of times. Even when we exit the stage of this life, I am for sure that our descendants will take control and continue with this great mission, because children, women, and young people need it at all times in the world. And we've been ordained and called and appointed to do this anyway. This is what we were created to do. What else would you have been doing instead of helping these children and young people and women in the world? So the courage we speak of isn't just about grand gesture to say, oh, look at me. I did this, I did this, I did that. I can do it better than you. Look at me. I donated this amount of money to this organization. Look at me. No, that's not what we're talking about. It's about the daily, tenacious commitment to action. Daily. Because you cannot feed a child today and then don't feed that child again tomorrow. That is what we are talking about here. The act of raising a child is not just for one day. It's not for 1 week. It's not for 1 month. It's not for 1 year. It's not for 1 century. It is a daily task that we must be committed to doing. So the courage to innovate, to develop sustainable solutions for food security. Because if we don't secure food for these children, how are they going to build on their hopes and their dreams? It's like teaching permanent or permaculture culture, or supporting community garden, permaculture culture. It's like supporting something every day, supporting that culture with their own way, their own how to do it, how they know best how to do these things, how they were taught, without taking anything out of it. Not to tell them to go with our own ways, but with their own ways. That's why we meet these children where they are, and then we gradually, with love and dignity and respect, gradually how they can understand it to where they want to be is what we are talking about here. So it's so important that we do these things for these children. So with courage, the courage to innovate, the courage to educate, the courage to say, I am not just going to sit here today. I work Monday through Friday, for example, but I'm going to go to the library to volunteer to read to children, because there are reading programs in libraries. Or I am going to organize a community reading program that children, if they go to school Monday through Friday, Saturday, they can come in for 1 hour. Let's not make it long, because sometimes we can't pay attention. Children in particular have that attention deficit. So we want to make things that are sweet, short, and straight to the point, so that these children will focus on them and they'll be happy doing these things. You can organize those programs. You can organize youth initiative programs in your community that will also do this. And so courage to educate, to establish quality education, programs that break the cycle of illiteracy, opening doors to knowledge and opportunity. We can do that. Like what we are doing here in One Global Movement. That's exactly what we are doing. I know that a lot of you guys are doing a lot of things in your communities. Never you underestimate what you're doing, because it entails that you start small. I started this One Global Movement when I was very little in Cameroon at the age of 11 with the support of my grandmother. And a lot of challenges and failures, but I never gave up, because I know that eventually we will fail, but we will fail our way to success. because that failure is an important part of success. We learn from there and we continue to nurture. And look at where we are here today. Isn't this amazing? We thank God for everything. And so, courage. We have to have the courage to empower economically, to provide the tools for building generational wealth, fostering entrepreneurship. Like what we are doing here in One Global Movement, the 5 Chicks per Child program. It's a program that I was brought up with. My parents brought me up with, taught us how to be entrepreneurs, young entrepreneurs doing businesses. So my brothers and I, we were always given chickens with small chicken coops to raise these chickens and then sell them and make money. And that's why I had an account at a very young age, a post office account where you can save your money there. So we want to teach these children to be self-sustainable, to be independent, not to be reliant, not to be dependent on other people, to erase the spirit of dependency or the spirit of hand-me-down things or the spirit of aid. When you keep giving aid to children without teaching them how to get it for themselves, what you're doing is you are helping to build the spirit of dependency in those children, and they will never know how to do things for themselves or for their family. So we want to break that circle here, and build financial literacy, allowing families to lift themselves out of poverty. If we are giving $20, like we said before, goes a long way in certain communities. Because $26 is what I spend for one child that wants to get into the 5 Chicks per Child program. And so it will buy those 5 little chickens, and then buy feed to sustain those chickens for them to use for the next 3 to 4 months. Thereafter, they will sell. Because right now, they are in the process of selling the first consignment of chicken in my village. And so they will sell, and then what do? We can discuss depending on how the situation is. We decide to plow that money back into the program, or we open those mini bank accounts for those children and then still take part of the money and continue to run those programs so they can continue to fuel their account, save money to open a bigger business in the future, to continue their education, or to build bigger businesses or other things that they think, or for their adventures, or to travel the world. Whatever they want to do, the money is already there, not borrowing money. That's what we are trying to do. So we also have the courage to lead, to cultivate leadership skills in young women and children, enabling them to become agents of change in their community. But it starts in their homes, not just going to the community. It has to start within them. We teach them to cultivate them to be agents of change within themselves, in their homes, in their own communities, and beyond. Because when a child learns to lead themselves with courage, when a child learns to act up in a leadership way, in a courageous way in their homes, then they can also lead in the world, not just going to lead in the world without leading in their environment first. So that is very important. This is the courage to speak up. Remember, the scripture says, speak up for those who cannot speak up for themselves. Speak up for those who have been pushed to the backwaters of life. Speak up for the destitute. And that's why we are here, giving voices to the voiceless. And this is something that we all can do. We don't have to have money in our bank account in order to do this. We can do it, and that's exactly what we are doing here. And so speak up, the courage to speak up. Like our One Global Movement ambassadors, we've seen them advocating. They're advocating in their schools, in their home. They're talking about One Global Movement all the time. They're talking about Dr. Mundih. We know that, and they're all over the world. Some of them are not fortunate to appear here, but they can record things whenever they have that internet. So we have to advocate, to organize, and to inspire others to say, if one good thing happens to me, I am going to make sure that I use this one good thing to advocate so that this one good thing can also get to another child, another woman, or another young person that needs it. This is very, very important. The courage in collaboration, doing things together. Remember, we are here as one heart, one goal, one global movement. This is what we are here for. So it takes courage to reach across divides, to forge global collaborative effort. It takes courage, and to engage diverse communities in shared solutions. It takes courage. Why? Because you were raised differently. I was raised differently. I was taught differently. We were brought up differently. We have different backgrounds, different orientations, different ways of doing things, different gifts. And therefore, in order to bring this, it takes that courage to bring things together, to collaborate our efforts, and to engage diverse communities in shared solutions. So it takes courage, but it also takes love. It takes a heart full of compassion. It takes a heart that says, I am going to accept that I can do this one thing, but I cannot do this one. And the courage to really be able to accept this is very important. Accepting our strengths and our weaknesses is what we should be living with. So every program we launch here in One Global Movement, every meal we help provide, every book we help someone read, every skill we impart, and every leader we nurture is an act of profound courage. We have books here, a children's book written by one of the One Global Movement ambassadors that is helping to instill early spirit of reading in children, and the books are selling. Some people are ordering for homeschooling, some people are ordering for their homes, some people are offering as gift. They're ordering as gift for others. You can order them too and give them as gift, and all of those things go to help One Global Movement, children all over the world. We are not just dreaming of a better world or a better tomorrow. We are actively, courageously building it brick by brick, mortar by mortar, life by life. And we can do that by really accepting the words embedded in the Serenity prayer, accepting those things that we cannot change, courage to change those that we can change, and wisdom to understand their differences. Instead of whining, complaining, or thinking that your own way is better than the other person's way, if we apply these three principles embedded in the Serenity prayer, it's very important. So the wisdom to know the difference. What does that look like? So this final part is perhaps the most crucial for an organization like ours, One Global Movement. Wisdom is the compass that guides our serenity and our courage. Wisdom guides us, right? Imagine the wisdom embedded in Proverbs, the book of Proverbs. I read it a lot because it really teaches me a lot of things, and then it calms me down to know that, you know what, it is okay not to know. It is okay to fail. It's okay to make mistakes. So it helps me a lot. So wisdom is the compass that guides our serenity and our courage. It's the ability to discern, to understand. That is what we are talking about here, wisdom, to understand, to seek to know, and to also let other people to seek to know through you without condescending on those people. So what battles to fight? Wisdom helps you to really choose, is this a battle worth it? Is this purposeful for me? What am I gaining from this? What am I going to gain from saying the things that I want to say? So what battles to fight? Where can our resources, our voice, we're not just talking about money, physical cash, because money transformed in sacred places is the kind of money that we are talking about, not the physical cash that the world is, hey, look at me here, I have this money. That's not what we are talking about. Where can our resources, the resources we have, our voices, a bottle of water, a bowl of soup, a book to give a child to read, a pen or a pencil, those little acts of kindness are the things that we are talking about. Those are the things that transform the world. And so where can our resources, our passion, and our expertise make the most? significant, lasting impact. Just like what you're doing here. This is what we're talking about. You're here now. You're contributing in the chat. You're supporting One Global Movement Children. You are offering your expertise here. This is exactly what we are talking about. What impact can it make? And then when to adapt. We use our wisdom to know when can we adapt. What are the things that we say, just like in a relationship or marriage relationship, that you together to say, okay, now, is this relationship worth it? What am I prepared to accept? And what am I prepared not to accept? Can we come to a consensus? Can we agree? Can we come strike a balance in the middle? Because we cannot be 100% in a relationship like the other person. So we need to know. And so when to adapt? When is it a particular approach not working? What can I do to make it work? How can I spice it? And when do we need to turn or to pivot and try something new? When have I come to the end of my gift and God is redirected me towards another gift to start doing it? We have to know when to adapt and how to empower, not to enable. How do we empower? How do we help eradicate, really defeat totally hunger, illiteracy, and poverty, rather than enabling it to happen in the world? Because we see what is going on around the world. They're enabling hunger. Children and women are being used to accomplish things that are not good. We see, we hear, and some of us have lived it: abuse, sex trafficking, war, creating hunger. We were born with plenty, but the world makes us to believe differently because of greed and power. But you and I are here to change that narrative. So how to empower, not to enable? Instead of somebody says something, maybe they said it, you don't know why they said it. Maybe they were in a different mindset. Or maybe they didn't just know because of their upbringing or their orientation, their background. And you take it and blow it out of proportion. No. What truths, what peace can you bring in that situation with your voice, with your heart? What can you do to calm it? So the wisdom to provide tools and solutions that foster self-reliance and dignity, rather than creating dependency or rather than creating war. We are not here to fix people. No, that's not what we are here for. Because we ourselves are trying to fix ourselves every day. All of us, you and I, we all are on the potter's wheel. Our children are. We have to keep, God is still giving us the opportunity, molding us, keep shaping us so that we can get to us where we want to be. We are not here to fix anyone, but to provide them with the agency to transform their own lives. Is what we are doing here. Tools is very important. So understanding our limits and our strengths. We have to have the wisdom to understand. We've been talking about this, knowing what One Global Movement can realistically achieve and leveraging our unique capabilities to our fullest to help this population in the world. Knowing that, oh, okay, I can write a book that can empower. Okay, I have this one potato. I can make something out of that one potato. Okay, I can visit a refugee camp. Okay, I can go to a war-torn zone and help those children that their parents have been killed. A lot of things that we can do, but it has to start with ourselves and our home. So we need to understand this. How can One Global Movement leverage this to its fullest? And then we can also use our wisdom to prioritize sustainable solutions. Which one works best? And which one can we use first? Which one is needed first according to our natural needs? So wisdom tells us that short-term fixes are not enough. No. We must invest in long-term systemic change that endures across generations and across borders. This means focusing on roots, the root causes, and building capacity within communities. You focus on the root cause. Don't just say, let me do this now. Oh, I don't want to this, it's going to take me too much time and it's going to take me a lot of money to do this, or it's frustrating. Yes, it requires all of these things that I just talked about to be able to build sustainable solutions or bring sustainable solutions to the challenges that this population is facing in the world. It's very important. And then we can use our wisdom to recognizing the dignity of every individual. Dignity, dignity is very important. So the wisdom to see the inherent worth and potential in every one child, every young person, and every woman, regardless of their current circumstances, their background, their orientation, or the color of their skin. We need to see this dignity, knowing that there is something good in this child, in this woman, in this young person that I must respect. This is very, very important. The wisdom to see the inherent worth and potential in every child, every young person, every woman, regardless. Every individual, regardless of whether they have all their limbs on, or regardless of whether they know what we think that we know, we have to see that because they are created for a reason. They are created for a purpose. This wisdom ensures our efforts are not just well-intentioned, but truly effective. It means learning from our experiences, listening to the communities we serve, not just serving them. Are you listening to them? What do they need? Are you involving them in them? Not just saying, no, this is the way you should be. This is the way you should be ruled. This is the kind of food that you need. No, because that is greed. We want to do it according to their own way and constantly refining, really redefining our approach to achieve the greatest, because things change. We're not just going to use the same approach that we use today for maybe 1 year, 10, 5, 20 years to come. We have to keep revising them so that they fit into the context of what this population want in the world. This is very, very important for us. It means learning from our experiences, listening to the communities we serve, and constantly refining our approach to achieve the greatest good for the greatest majority. It's the wisdom that tells us that generational wealth building isn't just about money. No, it's not just about money, but about passing down knowledge, clean knowledge, resilience, and the belief in one's own power. Very, very important, which is what we are doing here. Building generational wealth while living a life of leadership and purpose. So our prayer, our movement, our prayer is our movement. So as we reflect on the Serenity prayer, let us see it not just as a personal mantra. No, we cannot just see it only as a personal mantra, but as a guiding principle for one global movement. Courage to accept the things that we cannot change. Courage to change those that we can. And wisdom to understand their differences. It's very important. We approach the vastness of global challenges with the serenity of a clear-eyed understanding, knowing what we face. We do face sometimes health challenges, mental illnesses. In the case of our children, they go through a lot, especially our young people, but no one pays attention to them. We act with the courage to implement transformational programs like the ones that we are implementing one global movement, and do it according to the environment, according to the children and how they can do these things, not according to how we think it should be, and then discussing it with them. How about this? How do you think? What is your proposal? What is good for you? What do you think that you want is what we should be talking about, right? Knowing that every effort contributes to breaking cycles of hunger. Not just hunger, physical hunger, the hunger for education, breaking illiteracy, the urge to read and write, to hold the pen in an elegant way, like the urge to bring an education to young women that have been denied, like Malala, our little girl Malala, and to eradicate poverty and building generational wealth that will last millions of generations, even when you and I have exited the stage of this life. And we operate with the wisdom to make strategic choices, not just any kind of choices, not reckless choices, choices that say, what is this going to do for me? What is this going to do for my family? What is this going to do for my children? What is this going to do for my community? What is this going to do for the world? What is my contribution to the world? This is what we are talking about here. And we operate with the wisdom to really make this with purpose, with the acceptance and the courage to know that, yes, we can do this. Yes, we cannot do this. Ensuring that we empower young women, children, and all beneficiaries to live lives of leadership and purpose, reaching their fullest potential. Not saying that, hey, forget about it. Your parents are poor. Forget about it. You are not born into the higher class. Forget about it. You are this person. You come from a poor country. You come from a poor community. Oh, my parents were poor. Oh, my parents were, they worked. No. We don't want that. We want that a way that says, yes, I belong and I can do this. Yes, I have choices and I can do this. And this should trigger down to subsequent generations to come to live lives of leadership and purpose, reaching their fullest potential. And we should never tell a child that, no, you were born in a poor family, or you will never be able to be this or that, because you did not create those children. Okay, the one that created them gave them greatness. The greatness is within them. We as servants just need to awaken that in them so that they can do the best. So let us carry this prayer, these principles, and this shared mission forward. Together with serenity, courage, and wisdom, we can and we will build a future where every child, every young person, every woman, every human being thrives. Thank you guys so much for listening today. And thank you so much for your contribution here. I highly, highly appreciate what you guys are doing here in One Global Movement. We appreciate you. And let me quickly go through here, because I have some work to do with the One Global Movement garden. Otherwise, the vegetables they will go bad, because it's harvesting. We are harvesting the vegetables already, trying to see what we can do to raise money through what is called Taste of Motherland. So we have Sir Abdul Sattar. Thank you so much. And I said, let's write this sentence here. If you cannot contribute in any way, just say, One Global Movement is helping children defeat hunger, illiteracy, and poverty. Just write that statement in the chat. That is a great contribution. And we're going to be doing that so that we really encourage people to do something, and so that AI and the world around know what we are doing here in One Global Movement. So thank you so much, Sir Abdul Sattar, for being here with us today. We highly appreciate you. And thank you to Sir Didi Dipokdash for your support and your love. And thanks to Irfan Ahmed. We highly appreciate you, sir, for your support and your presence here. And thanks to our managing director who works on the stage and behind the stage to make sure that we are serving children, young people, and women worldwide. We appreciate you, Sir John Barilla. And it says, yes, and Melanie is working, so she probably can't pop in. That's good. Let her work, because she needs that money first before she can support One Global Movement. And we know that she will whenever she will. And she's been doing that too. So thank you so much for letting us know. And the managing director says, we all need to come together and support young people and children worldwide. Come together. Okay? We need to come together. Thank you so much, John. And hashtag come together, hashtag JJB Tin Man, hashtag Big Heart, hashtag I am the Tin Man, hashtag Heart for Humanity, hashtag One Global Movement, hashtag Ashmufara, hashtag double hashtag Big Heart 2. Thank you so much. Thank you, John. And we have our beautiful sister here, Maria Jars. How are you, sister? Thank you so much for your support and your love for children. We highly appreciate what you do here. And thanks for stopping by today. We have Kamal Hussein, how are you, sir? Thank you so much for supporting here. Please be sure to put the big thumbs up whenever you get here and turn on the notification bell, subscribe, share, share, share. This is one of the surest way that we can get the gospel of one global movement to all corners of the globe. Remember, we are global and we need to get this out. And go to our Facebook page and like and follow. And please, you can make a commitment by helping our Facebook page by taking it to other people to like and follow so that we can gather resources, more resources that will help our children. So thank you, Maria. Thank you, Kamal, for stopping by. And of course, we have our beautiful sister here, Sister Sharon. Thank you so much for what you're doing on and behind the stage. If you look at the beautiful graphics that we post all the time, she is the author of that. And she is stepping up the game all the time. When I wake up in the morning or before I go to bed, I'm always curious to see what she's coming up with. And hey, she's always coming up with beautiful things. She's very creative, very artistic. Thank you so much, Sister Sharon, for what you're doing. Hashtag One Global Movement. And hashtag to everyone and Mr. Barilla. And yes, if she's here, let us expect happy birthday, love, and wishes and greetings from her. Happy birthday to everyone who is celebrating their birthday today. Yes, happy birthday. Thank you so much for being here. We have our brother, Sir Gutam. Thank you so much, sir, for your support here and online. We highly appreciate you. And our beautiful sister, Nancy. How are you, sister? Thank you so much for always being here. And thank you for your support on stage and backstage. We highly appreciate you. And let's go down here. I want to make sure that I don't miss any new name. And prayers really help our children because they know they have a higher power that can shape anything. Whether they are going through, they know it shall pass. Help them in believing in themselves. Certainly, that is so true. You know, when I was growing up, prayer was not an option. We had to get up every 5 a.m. for a morning ritual, and not just a ritual, but really committing our day into the hands of the Creator. Because, and we always use Jeremiah 29:11. Jeremiah 29:11. And I always remember it says, I know the plans I have for you, says the Lord. They are plans to prosper you and not to harm you. They are plans to give you hope and a great future. And that has stuck with me every day. If you look at my journal, even if I have to read other scriptures, that one is always there. Because I believe when God says, I know the plans I have for you, they are plans to prosper you and not to harm you. They're plans to give you hope and a great future. And He's giving us that great future. I believe in it because He says it, He declares it with certainty. He's certain. That means He knew you before you were formed in your mother's womb. Your future was already written before you were formed in your mother's womb. And that future is a future of greatness, a future to say, I was born to do this, that I can do this. Even if I fail today, failure today doesn't mean it's failure tomorrow. This is very, very important. Thank you so much, Nancy. Sir Ojala, thank you so much for your love and support. We extend our love and greetings to your home. Thank you so much. And the managing director says, thank you for contributing here in the chat. I appreciate your comments. Folks, speak your mind about inspiring children and young people and women. Let's think and inspire all of them. Yes, John. Yes. Speak what you have. How do you raise your children? What is happening in your community? We need to know about all of these things so we can learn and then come together to change the world, right? Okay, let's go down here. We have Sir Ashakuma. How are you, sir? Thank you so much for your support, your love, and your presence, as always, for children of the world. We highly appreciate you. And we have our beautiful sister, Sanjo Ashmara. Namaste, sister. How are you? Thank you so much. And thank you for supporting the children in your home and in your community. We appreciate you. We have Sir Sunil. How are you, sir? Thank you for being one of the pillars of One Global Movement here. We appreciate you. And let's go down here. Just making sure. And our sister Nancy says, families, there's a small way we can start helping our children is to press the big thumbs up, subscribe, invite a friend, and share with families and friends with love. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you, Nancy. And we have Sanjaya Kumar Panda. How are you, sir? Thank you for stopping by and thank you for supporting Children of the World. We highly appreciate you. And the managing director said, remember, folks, those little acts of kindness are important to support and inspire children and young folks and women. Be kind to everyone with simple acts of kindness. Yes, be kind to everyone with simple acts of kindness. We have Goldie Call. How are you, sir? Thank you for joining us here today. We highly appreciate you. Thank you. And we have, let's go down here. Do we have any other new person? No. Oh, Sir AP, our big brother is here. Sir AP Madhusudanan. How are you, sir? It's been a while. How are you doing? I know that you are very busy on grounds volunteering to support children and families. We highly appreciate you for the great work that you are doing on ground in India. Thank you so much. May God bless the efforts of your heart and hands. And how is our little daughter doing? Extend our love and greetings to everyone. We are always so happy and excited to see you here. And thanks so much for your contributions, sir. And we've come to the end of today's show. And in conclusion, let us remember the Serenity prayer as it applies to One Global Movement. Let us have that courage to change the things that we can, courage to accept the things that we cannot change, and the wisdom to understand their differences. Thank you guys so much. We wish you the very best. Until Friday, say hello to every child, give them hugs and kisses, and let us continue to build, and build in our homes and in the community to eradicate hunger, illiteracy, and poverty. I love you all. Bye-bye.